So here it is. I think he thought I was stupid or something, but a lot of people think that, so sure. And he started changing information here and there. There was something he said that kind of made me question something about about my Facebook name. I didn't tell him my Facebook name at the time. He said something about my Facebook name, so, and that's fine. The plot thickens. So he mentioned that he knew my parents. Not surprising to me. Yeah, so, but the thing is, I felt the weather change, you know what I mean? That energy change. And then, lo and behold, there's Duncan. And then he'll be not sitting there when I walk inside. Of course, he was sitting there when I walked inside. So I grabbed my headphones and hightailed out the side door. Curbed the shit out of him. And then he called me later. I can't even. Because I figured he would think I'm going to the toilet. That's what it was supposed to look like. And then I left out the side door. And anyway, he called me later. And he ended up asking me if, we met up. And then when I ditched him. And so I took off and didn't speak to him again. And he was calling and messaging and stuff. So, and that was it. So, once upon a time, this person came up randomly at the end of last year in downloads. And it was like some obsessed energy, you know. And at first I thought it was my ex, you know, because I could picture that, like, you know. It just seemed like the most logical guess. Like, I thought it was like a recent past timeline or something. Who could it be? Like, I didn't even talk to anyone. I was like, okay, maybe. So I just kept listening and waiting to hear details to see who it could be. It's not Duncan, it can't be Duncan. Until it was revealed recently. It must have been something about the time, the length of time that I knew him. That's what made it so confusing. Dickhead. At the time, I was scrutinizing him a little bit about him knowing more than, I don't know, the whole secret, obviously. Anyway, God's revealed. Not only is Duncan obsessed with my ex taking his place, obsessed. Played a bit of reverse psychology. And I'm like, do you know this person? Oh, yeah. And like, do you know this person? Hey, oh, how do you know these people? And I asked him if he knew my ex. Yeah. Yeah. I asked him that when I met him. He said no. I believed him. Yeah, so... And I asked him how long ago, and he said like 5-6 years ago or something. And I was like, okay, fair enough. News to me. I was like, I've never seen you before. Never heard of you. He mentions Lindley. I don't even know her. He was just talking about her when I met up with him. He just brought her up out of nowhere. And I was like, that's so strange. Who is she? The one that got shot. Yeah. So weird that you bring her up. Why are you talking about her? So what is going on? She was in my people you may know. Not that long ago. He's like, that's the only way I know who you're talking about. Like, he'll tell me things, but he won't reveal the whole truth and stuff, okay? Duncan is like energy harvesting, so all that reactive abuse. He's doing the reactive abuse thing. Apparently he is so obsessed. He's the one fighting with the energy of my ex. This energy, he tries to mimic my ex. But there's a thing that's off about Duncan. He is trying to do away with my ex somehow. Sometimes Duncan says stupid things out of nowhere too. It's so random. He was like, oh, you know, and getting head isn't cheating. Dickhead. Anyway, change the topic. It was inappropriate too. It's gross. Like, don't talk to me about that kind of stuff either. But anyway, it stood out to me that he said that. Because we were talking about something else, and that was a clue that God has already given me too about this person. Talking a lot of shit about me to my ex and encouraging him to cheat. That fit the profile, right? Yeah. I just realised earlier, like I said, just fishing for reactions. But what he does is when he's fishing for those reactions, he uses real info. So it's like, okay. He uses real info. Things that he doesn't think that I know about or that I can piece together somehow. Why would he think that? But I can. I haven't told him that I know any of this stuff. I talked to him about stuff. He asked me. I was telling him a part of some story and all he heard was Lucas. He's like, well, you still love him? What's that got to do with you? You seem upset about that. But anyway, confirmation. And then it was when he said this. He said, oh, because I met you back in 2020. Oh, yeah? That's what did it. That changes everything. He knew the whole time who I was. He has been stalking me like a motherfucker, the whole point. As God said, he's like, don't question it. I told you what it is. You just need to, oh, yep, this weird fuck. He made this statement. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You were wearing this. Say that again? Like, what do you think, sis? And he was like, yeah, it was 2 o'clock at Wednesday. Okay, anyway. There's people watching me in my house. Not only that, right? So he's infiltrated my life from like gone into the background of my life. Did he make friends with you? Was he buddies with you? Or he was talking about some dude who got raided over on Welsh Street. And he was naming all these names. Started putting everyone under the bus. I don't understand why he was doing that. It's not really my biz. But he said that Lindley is sleeping with Lucas. They're sleeping together. So he's like, okay. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, is that the only one? Saying that she kind of deserved to be shot. Or well, she didn't get shot for no reason. Cool, I don't care about all that. But thanks.